You ever met someone who just got you? Like within 5 minutes of meeting them, they already knew your humor, your energy, what makes you tick. They said all the right things, made you feel seen, made you feel special, and you thought, wow, this person is different. Yeah. That's exactly what they wanted you to think. See, when most people hear the word narcissist, they picture an arrogant jerk who talks about himself all night and never asks how you're doing. Easy to spot, easy to avoid. But there's another type, a scarier type, one that's flying completely under the radar, and chances are you've already crossed paths with one. They're called high EQ narcissists, and they are hands down the most dangerous personality type walking around right now. Because unlike the obvious narcissist, this one reads you. This one understands your emotions, your fears, your soft spots, and uses all of it against you. Strategically, patiently, quietly. So today we're breaking down 7 signs you're dealing with one, because once you know what to look for, they can't hide anymore. Let's get into it. Sign 1. They make you feel understood faster than anyone you've ever met. This is the first move, and it's smooth. A regular narcissist leads with ego. A high EQ narcissist leads with empathy. They listen. They nod. They ask the right follow-up questions. They mirror your energy so perfectly that your brain goes, this person is my person. Psychologists actually call this emotional mirroring. And in healthy relationships, it happens naturally over time. But a high EQ narcissist speeds it up on purpose, because the faster you feel connected to them, the faster your guard comes down. And the moment your guard is down, that's when they get to work. If someone made you feel deeply understood way too fast, that's not a coincidence. That's a skill. And not everyone using that skill has good intentions. Sign 2. They know exactly what to say when you're at your lowest. Here's the thing about high EQ. It gives you the ability to read emotional states with scary accuracy. Most people use that to be supportive. A high EQ narcissist uses it to lock you in. When you're going through something rough, a breakup, a bad week, family drama, they show up, they say all the right things. They become your emotional safe space. But here's what's really happening. They're collecting data. They're learning your wounds, your insecurities, your emotional triggers, and they're filing it all away. Because later, when things get tense, when you start pulling away, when you dare to disagree with them, they're going to use everything you told them in your most vulnerable moments right against you. Research actually backs this up. Studies show that narcissists with high emotional recognition abilities are significantly more likely to manipulate others using that exact emotional knowledge. They don't comfort you because they care. They comfort you because it's an investment. Sign 3. They weaponize your empathy. This one hits different if you're a naturally empathetic person, because this sign is basically designed to trap you specifically. High EQ narcissists are incredible at playing the victim when it benefits them. They'll tell you about their terrible childhood, their past trauma, how everyone always leaves them, how nobody truly gets them, except you. And if you're empathetic, your heart opens up. You think, I won't be like those other people. I'll be different. I'll stay. That's the trap. Because now your empathy, one of your greatest strengths, has been turned into a leash. Every time you try to set a boundary or call out bad behavior, suddenly they're the one who's hurt. Suddenly you're the villain. Suddenly you feel guilty for even bringing it up. Psychology today describes this perfectly. Emotionally intelligent people naturally see the good in others, they admit fault easily, and they fight to keep relationships alive. A high EQ narcissist knows this, and they exploit every single one of those qualities. Sign 4. They never lose their cool, but somehow you always do. This one is low-key the creepiest sign on this list. In arguments, a high EQ narcissist stays calm, cool, almost too composed. While you're frustrated, emotional, maybe even crying, they're sitting there collected, speaking slowly, acting completely reasonable. And here's what that does to you. It makes you look like the problem. It makes you look unstable. Meanwhile, they look like the mature, level-headed one who's just trying to have a conversation. But what's actually happening is a tactic called emotional dysregulation by proxy. They provoke you, subtly, slowly, through little comments, little digs, little doses of gaslighting until you react. and then they point to your reaction as the proof that you're the difficult one. They use their high EQ not to de-escalate, but to trigger you and then stay calm while you fall apart. It's manipulation wrapped in self-control. Sign 5. Their charm is always on, especially around other people. You know how some people are just magnetic in social settings? Like everybody loves them, everybody's laughing, they work the room like they were born for it? That's a completely normal thing. Lots of warm, genuine people are like that. But with a high EQ narcissist, there's a very specific pattern. In public, they're incredible. Funny, generous, attentive, the life of the party. But in private, behind closed doors, they're a completely different person. Cold, dismissive, controlling, critical. And this gap, this split between the public version and the private version, is one of the clearest red flags that you're dealing with one. Because a genuinely emotionally intelligent person doesn't have a performance mode and a real mode. They're just themselves. But a high EQ narcissist is always performing. Their charm is a strategy, not a personality. It's designed to build a reputation so solid that when you finally tell someone what they're actually like, nobody believes you. Sign 6. They take zero accountability but make it sound thoughtful. Here's where the high EQ really becomes a weapon. A regular narcissist, when confronted, blows up or flat out denies everything. Easy to see through. A high EQ narcissist? They sit there, they listen, they seem to reflect. They might even say something like, "I hear you, and I understand why you'd feel that way." Sounds like accountability, right? Wrong. Notice they never actually said "I was wrong." They said they understand why you feel that way, which subtly frames your feelings as the issue, not their behavior. It's a verbal sleight of hand. And it's so smooth that most people walk away from that conversation thinking they got an apology when they got absolutely nothing. Research on dark emotional intelligence specifically calls this out. High EQ individuals can intentionally shape and disguise their emotional responses to create favorable impressions while taking zero real responsibility. It looks like growth. It sounds like self-awareness. But it's theater. Sign 7. You feel drained, confused, and somehow like it's always your fault. This is the big one. And it's usually the one that wakes people up. After spending time with a genuinely emotionally intelligent person, you feel good, energized, understood, seen. After spending time with a high EQ narcissist, you feel exhausted, foggy, like you're constantly second-guessing yourself. Like no matter what you do, it's never quite right. Like something is off, but you can't put your finger on what. That feeling, that chronic confusion and emotional exhaustion, is not in your head. That is the result of sustained psychological manipulation by someone who knows exactly how your emotions work and has been quietly exploiting them. The self-blame is the final piece of the trap. Because as long as you think you're the problem, you stay. You try harder, you give more, and they win. If this sounds familiar, if you've been feeling this way around someone in your life, that's not a coincidence. That's a sign. So let's bring it home. A high EQ narcissist isn't dangerous because they're loud or obvious. They're dangerous because they're good. Good at reading you, good at charming you, good at making you feel like the problem when they are the problem. The 7 signs: too much connection too fast, showing up at your lowest to collect your wounds, weaponizing your empathy, making you lose your cool while they stay calm, being a completely different person in private, fake accountability that sounds real, and leaving you drained and confused. Those are your checklist. You don't need to confront anyone today. You just need to see clearly, because awareness is the first step out of any trap. If this video hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to understand the psychology of ego, intelligence, and the people around you on a deeper level, you're in the right place. This is the Ego Shift, and we'll see you in the next one.